Hello everyone, Planet Crafter's Moon update is out by the time you're watching this. And I say that because I'm currently playing on the development branch. This is going to be the final development branch. They just released it. The update is coming out in a couple hours, and it introduces interplanetary space travel. Now you might be wondering why I'm even playing on the development branch, if the update is coming out soon. I'm really excited to try it out, and I sadly don't have the time later to... I usually don't play on the development branch, but goddamn, they made me do it. Alright, so in order to start this new update, what you need are these items. The extraction platform, the interplanetary travel rocket, and I'm guessing the solar system screen as well, or that might be optional. They are unlocked after completing the game, pretty much. There's a harvesting robot. Well, I'm gonna check out some of the new things later. For now, let's go find out where we can make the rocket. I'm looking at it and I'm wondering to myself why I've done this. We literally have one right here. Seeing as it says space occupied, I wonder if we need to do something else, so maybe we do need a second one. Oh yeah, there is a totally different rocket we gotta build. God damn, that is expensive. I guess while we're at it, we may as well make that screen as well. So we have a couple different planets. We got Humble, which is the DLC planet. Selenea, which is one of the new moons. This seems to be very similar to what the Humble looks like. And then we also have Aqualis, which is where we'll be going today. I put out a poll, and most people wanted me to go there, so that's what we're doing. And you guys know me so well, allowing me to get the wind turbine. Let's see, warning, you're trying to access the gameplay content of interplanetary travel and moons. This content is completely optional and will change your Planet Crafter experience. It is intended for experienced players that wish to do more planet crafting after they completing the game. We recommend that you have fully experienced the current planet and all its secrets before attempting interplanetary travel. If you don't want to spend several more hours in the game, it's advised to use the department rocket and complete the base game. Why wouldn't you want to do this, man? You land on a barren planet, and you have to build another rocket to come back. Oh. Well, I say we go to Aqualis. There we go, blasting off. Seems to be pretty much the same cutscene as the other rocket. But nothing is above us this time. Oh boy. So what is this? Thank you for choosing the highly experimental Better Life program. By continuing to terraform planets and moons near your designated planet, you increase the administration's leniency towards your case. Additionally, you help Sentinel Corp support other planet crafters by furthering our knowledge of terraforming techniques. You will automatically unlock new technologies as you advance in the process. Right, well, this is the planet that we're starting on. Seems to have some sort of ring around it. Looks pretty nice. It doesn't look very large. Although there's islands like all over the place. But also, I have something to confess. I brought the supplies to make a new rocket pad. You know, just in case. Huh, well, maybe I wasn't as smart as I thought. Turns out we were missing some items. And these are basically end-game items as well, so hooray. Alright, first things first, what I think we should do is set up a base of operations. Also, what is this? I thought it was ice at first. Phosphorus. Interesting. That is just a new ore. Well, let's collect some of it. Don't know what we can do with it yet. Ooh, clams. Oh, that is interesting and fun. Should have probably brought a drill with me as well. But hey, you live and learn, I guess. I will say, it feels kind of weird going back to this. The good old collection. I'm so used to just having everything at my fingertips with all the automated systems. However though, because we have access to pretty much all technology that we had on Prime, this should go a lot faster. For example, we can immediately start off with a tier 2 drill. Are you working, mate? The TI isn't going up for some reason. And I should have enough power. And so here are all the things that we can unlock on this planet. Wind turbines, fertilizer, outdoor farms, butterfly farms, bigger fish farms, animal multiplier fuse, The recipe for quasar quartz, as well as animal food tier 3. Interesting, the wind turbine is also not even spinning. Alright, I restarted the entire process, loaded a backup, and I realized something. You know when I built the extraction platform and I totally forgot about it? Yeah, that shit takes a lot of power. I'm so bloody stupid. There were never any issues with power. I just built something that we couldn't support on the little that we had. Also interesting, these clams, they generate different items. However, though, that means that we can now actually start properly. I didn't really want to take any of the major items with me from Prime to here. Like any nuclear reactors or something like that. I want to experience this planet basically fresh. There we go, power has been restored. Let's place the tier 2 drill down. For reals this time. There we go, the TI is actually going up. It's slow, but it's going up. Alright, I would like to see how much power we're using too. We have 2.2 left. So from what it looked like, this planet, the only way you can get to it is by building that rocket. The other moon you could start on. So it was similar to Prime and Humble. But I guess this one isn't. And you need to have completed the game, basically, in order to get here. So that's why I don't see any ice laying about for drinking water. That is why we're getting so many high-level or high-tiered items. I say yes, there's an eggplant and a Lirma seed in there. Still not 100% sure what the phosphorus is for. But I'm planning to check that out once we have blueprints going. Just making a quick trip around the spawning islands. It will be quite nice if we can get some aluminum from one of these clams. That way we can make better power supplies. The low oxygen. It has been a while. I will probably die from it one day. Alright, so we have a bunch of stuff. A bunch of like osmium and super alloy. I think annoyingly enough, until we get uranium, we can't really do anything with it. You know, I betcha the wind turbine and some of these new things will cost the phosphorus. I'm also wondering, do we get any new emails? Yes. By now, I have no idea if it's been 3 days or 3 weeks since the crash. Infinite rockets, but less and less water bottles. I'm guessing these are from this planet. It's also a new dude. I knew we shouldn't have changed our itinerary. There's a reason why some part of the universe are still unexplored. I can't see anything in this hole, but there's nothing to be found except rocks. And my legs hurt like hell. So looking at the dates, this has been like 25-ish years ago? 24? The main bottleneck right now is just straight up power. However, in order to fix that problem, we would need to find either aluminum, or we need to get some uranium rods going. You know, because this is the case, I think a smart option for us is to go out farther and explore. There doesn't seem to be much around here. Let's get our supplies, and I guess we may as well head this way. To those sets of islands. Oh boy, I can't even see the bottom here. This goes deep. So, from what it looks like, you have the inner ring, and then there's an outer ring of islands. I don't see anything beyond it yet. This goes down crazy deep real quick. I wonder what we do with this planet eventually. Like, how are we gonna terraform it? Or rather, what will the terraformation do to this planet? Because so far I don't see anything yet. But my guess is that we might drain the water, although it goes down pretty deep, so maybe not. Ooh, a new tree seed. Don't be seeing those every day. There's probably multiple that were added during this update. Good to see we already got one. It's not as deep around here as it is in most places. Although I guess here's the deep darkness. But it looks like they also come in different sizes, these clams. And this one even had 4 items in it. I'm looking in the water. I'm looking on all the rocks. There really isn't that much to find. There's some new fishies. I think those are new anyway. Silkworms. So someone mentioned in the comments of one of the last videos that I forgot the silkworm in the museum, which yeah, I did, and I think that's because I couldn't put it on a butterfly display. So I probably put it off to the side and then completely forgot about it later. Right, my pockets are completely full. Well, once I pick this back up. So what I'm thinking of doing, I need to get some iron because there's some clams out here and I would like to get the loot. Let's put some stuff away that I don't think I'll need right this second. Or anytime soon, anyway. There we go. I've placed down a little beacon. So at least we know where our stuff is at. Nice, I've been finding a little bit of aluminum. Alright, we explored all of these islands. What I'm thinking of doing is going back to base, dump some of these supplies, get a better power grid going. Then we can place down some more structures so we can get the TI up faster. And then we go out and explore those islands. The sand looks a little more yellow. And there's also a lot less islands. So I'm hopeful. Then we also still have the islands in the back there. And then I think we explored everything we could at this stage. Alright, let's up our power. With that, we can now start creating the atmospheric water collector. And once we have that, we can start working on nuclear power. Oh, I didn't know that there was going to be a limit on when we're allowed to build things. But then why are we allowed to craft some items but not others? Also, we're unable to make water bottles without the water. How much was this? Nearly 1 MTI. Alright, I want to see if we can place down a tier 3 drill. So that would go way faster. But we're going to need more aluminum for that. Now, I think the beacon costs aluminum as well. Yes, so let's go collect those back. Then we can also pick up the remaining items there. Now, I'm going to imagine that there is a lock on this as well. There isn't. Oh. Alright, that should go a little faster now. Not as fast as I thought it would be, though. Let's head over to some of the islands, check those out. And afterwards, I'm just gonna go grind out a bunch of the tier 2 drills. But we may as well explore the islands first, due to all the climbs we can find. Because with those, we can make better power sources, as well as better structures, of course. Goes a little quicker that way. Alright, what is so special about this island? The sand is a different color. What is this? A pool of water? Just a regular pool of water. Well, as expected, nothing much around here. Just clams. Let's head back, dump all of our supplies, and then head over to the final set of islands. Alright, the final set of islands. Here we go. This one looks a little more interesting. It seems to be a crescent shape. Well, I don't see anything under the water, so I guess it doesn't really mean anything. I see something over there. Hey, those are rocks. I saw that. Yeah, I'm guessing whatever we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the planet of a lot of water. And that's gonna unlock a bunch of stuff. But for now, that means the planet is basically a barren wasteland where we can't do anything. Alright, that's everything on this island. Let's head back to base. Get that TI up quicker. And we have received a new blueprint. Interplanetary exchange shuttle. We need to go to Humble for that, though. I have also no idea how we get the tier 2 rocket engine. But that's something for later, clearly. Anyway, in the meantime, I've been looking at what we should build first. And I'm thinking an ore extractor. And here's why. One, it produces a lot of resources for us, which is going to be helpful. But two, it also creates a decent amount of heat and pressure, which means we might just take down one of the tier 2 drills and build 1 or 2 of these instead. But we're going to need quite a bit of power for it. Thing is, we could just straight up go for the tier 2 as well. Yeah, that's what I thought. Wait, that's not what I thought. Oh, really? Can we even build the tier 1 then? If we're not allowed to drill for resources? Yep, no, we're just not allowed to build that. Okay. Well, that plan went not where I was hoping it would. However, though, I did create quite a bit of power. We could make a tier 4. I would like to do a tier 5 right off the bat, but that's gonna require a lot of power. Alright, tier 4. Boom. Yeah, look at the KTI spike. That was all our power, but it's worth it. Alright, with that, I don't think we can place anything else down anymore. Except for a couple tier 1s, but I don't see the point of doing that. Really, our big bottleneck is just power. We don't have a way to get aluminum. So for a while, until we got enough to make the water collector, we will be stuck with solar power. Oh, there we go, blue skies. I would love to see what is up next. So we need to have one of the progress screens. Need some more iron. Current stage is submerged. We're gonna create a seismic activity. That seems to be at like 1,000,000 TI? No, more like 100 mil TI. Something like that. So that's still quite a ways off. You know, while looking through all these recipes, I've noticed we have not built a communication antenna, meaning these new messages are probably meant for Prime and not for this planet. Also interesting how we cannot start on oxygen basically until we have water. Also something that is kinda scary to note, we didn't find any food. Well, seeds I should say, not food. Meaning once we run out, we're kinda boned. But I have a plan to where we could potentially place down a second tier 4. But we're going to need the recycling machine. All we need is a little bit more super alloy. Whatever, we are able to make it, but we don't have enough power. However, we can just get rid of some of these tier 2s. And then we should have enough. And we may as well also get rid of the recycling machine for now. Our base is getting a little cramped. Alright, with that, we're almost at our goal for getting the atmospheric water collector. After that, we can go to the nuclear reactors. And then making tier 5 drills should be a cinch, as well as getting into oxygen and all that. But we'll leave that for next episode. So progress should be spiking soon. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed. And I see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.